Hi, this is Anchor Shivani, and with me I have.
I'm Dr. Gautam Gangopadhyay, Professor and Head of the Department of Neurology, Bangalore Institute of Neuroscience, IPGMER, Kolkata. Definitely HOD and Professor, that is the neurologist. My favorite subject is the epilepsy, demyelination, and the social neurology, especially in the developing country. I think epilepsy is not only a clinical entity, it is a social myth, taboo that is associated with it. And this is the probably, after leprosy, this is the probably only disease all over the world since the 6000 BC. That is this social taboo, myth, superstitions are just attached with these symptoms of epilepsy. In the past, it is present still now, and future it will probably persist. And there is I think it's epilepsy, especially in women with epilepsy, there is a certain problems arises. And whenever we see a epilepsy patient, the first questions is what will be the future of my child regarding the education, regarding their games, regarding their later on their occupation, regarding the in case of female, they're causing the whether there is a right to marry or not, whether she will be the mother or not. What I'm telling you, in my experience, the most of the cases, epilepsy will be well controlled with the antiseizure medication. It needs a prolonged therapy, and as I am I have epilepsy. So with medications, the one can do everything normally. Most of the cases do perform everything. One can perform going to their schools. They can perform everything. They can be a good player like John T. Rhodes, Tony Greig. They can be do the any services. The woman with epilepsy, they can marry. They be a happy mother, and do not be anxious of epilepsy. You should be only think whenever there will be any loss of consciousness or convulsion, you should contact with the doctor. If they are economically backward classes, I suggest to go to the hospitals. You will get free of cost treatment, and the investigations also be available in our West Bengal. You just remove, erase the superstitions and myth and taboo from the epilepsy, and you should also spread this message to everyone. It is the society should come forward, and that is why, if it is possible, then we can remove this myth, and with medicine each and every one can do everything. This is my message. If you think of Isaac Newton, if you think of Alfred Nobel, John T. Rhodes, then Agatha Christie, then the Van Gogh, Manik Bandyopadhyay in Bengal, the writers, there are so many people, talented people. So epilepsy is not a disease, it is a symptom. It cannot prevent the geniusity of a person. Thank you.
So, sir says that epilepsy is just an illness and it doesn't make you not being a human. You are a human, and being epilepsy is normal. This is normal, and this awareness should be there with everybody, right, sir?
Yeah.
Right. And, sir, I would like to know from you, how far do you think that the unawareness is the cause of epilepsy?
Unawareness is not the cause of epilepsy. Cause there is mostly there is a idiopathic cause. Then there was a cause of the brain tumor. There is a brain infection like encephalitis. There will be the meningitis. There will be some congenital brain defect. these are the factors that is the responsible for epilepsy. Another thing is that whenever you will just any trauma, head trauma, road traffic accident, the major cause of epilepsy. Other thing is that whenever there is any seizure, you have to be treated properly with the medicine. If you take properly the medicine, and if that we can diagnose properly the type of epilepsy and symptoms of epilepsy, most of the cases we can 70% cases we can control the seizure pattern. But economically, unawareness regarding the continuation of therapy, unawareness of this hygiene, because this if we take any fruits from the roadside, they are not very that is the neurocysticercosis is one of the cause of the epilepsy, the tuberculosis of brain. So we have to keep clean. Whenever we take foods, we have to wash my hands and also the foods, and we have to know that this requires a long-term therapy like blood pressure, blood sugar, and if we taking properly, the point is that the poor people cannot buy the medicine regularly. So this is a problem, and they cannot continue the medicine, and then there is a chance of recurrence of seizure. During recurrence of seizure, if he fell down, and then that will be sustained a head injury that may cause the seizure.
All right, sir. And how far do you think that there is a major gap of information about the treatment of epilepsy, and how rooted this problem is?
Treatment gap is definitely is there. If you see that the people who are going to the government hospital getting free of cost of treatment, there the treatment gap is much less. But whenever anyone will buy the medicines, so poor people, whenever with medicine he is well controlled, then he think that if I skip the medicine 2 or 3 days, then I shall save money and there will be no chance of seizure. But it will come back. So treatment gap is there. It is the duty of the doctor, it is the duty of the community, it is duty of the media to aware the people, aware the society that it is, if this is epilepsy, you have to take regular medicine. You should avoid certain things like driving, swimming, cycling, walk in front of the fire or sharp weapons, late night sleep, or excessive stress and strain.
Very rightly said, sir. One last question from my end. So, sir, what is the most common type of epilepsy which you find in adults who come to you?
The most common type of epilepsy is initially generalized tonic-clonic convulsion. Now, after the investigations available, that is the MRI, mostly structural seizure is much more. That is the symptom focal seizure with secondary generalized. These are the type seizure is more common. We have found during our practice.
So, any message for the people who are suffering from epilepsy?
The message, as I myself is suffering for, I am an epilepsy person. I do not think it is a disease, it is a symptom. That is why I am epilepsy person. So whenever one can diagnose with epilepsy, do not be disheartened. Even I request his or her parents or guardian, do not dishearten. You should continue the medicine under the guidance of your doctor. If you continue the medicines, most of the cases, 70 to 75% cases, seizure will be well controlled, and that does not hamper the education, occupation, social life, family life. And in case of woman with epilepsy, she will marry and be a happy mother of a healthy baby.
All right, and keep this in mind, whatever sir has said in the last line. So, it is very, very normal, but it can be cured, it can be prevented only if you are in the guidance of a doctor.
Prevented is that we have to be preventable cause of epilepsy, like head injuries should be prevented. That is like you should driving very cautiously. You should use the protective headgear, that is the protection should be taken during driving. Then during, you should avoid the smoking, alcohol, drug abuse. And now it is important to, during antenatal and perinatal checkup, it is has improved a lot. So during that time, perinatal, antenatal, there is a huge birth injury there. There is a, that part of the seizure frequency have decreased. So these are the protective measures we have to taken into this thing.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for joining IPCA, and I hope this is going to help a lot of patients out there, and they can march forward in a betterment, better in a proper manner. Thank you so much, sir.